defeating Luton by 2-0. For more, let's bring in, shall we, Frank Leboeuf and Julien Laurens. Forgive us if we don't dwell on that win for Chelsea, but we will talk about that. Enzo Fernandez wasn't in the squad, and it looks, well, almost very likely now that he's going to go to Manchester City, Jules.
Yeah, that's right, Dan. I mean, it was a bit of a surprise not to see him in the squad because yesterday in the pre-match press conference, Xabi Alonso said that he expected Enzo to be involved. So something clearly changed between yesterday and today. And what changed is that right now Chelsea and Manchester City, certainly from our sources at ESPN, are telling us that we're getting very close to a deal for Enzo Fernandez. Around £120 million, which is a lot of money. It's $170 million. 140 million euros, for the 24-year-old Argentine who wanted to leave Chelsea, who wanted to be reunited with Enzo Maresca, with whom he had a very strong relationship when Maresca was the Chelsea manager until December last year. And on City's side, they wanted another midfielder after losing Nico Gonzalez and Rodri and Bernardo Silva. And to add to Elliot Anderson and Ayoub Boadi, they thought Enzo was exactly what they needed.
How happy are you, Frank? You hate Enzo. He's leaving your club.
I don't hate him. He won't be regretted. That's the only thing I can say. I didn't like his attitude. He's a great player, good football player, champion of the world, and so many other things. But really, what he did towards the French player after the final, what he did towards the politically sign that he did with his teammates during the World Cup after England, that's not something that they should be proud of, and I don't like those kind of attitudes. So I wish him good luck, but I have nothing for him, I would say.
No, you don't. You despise him. Despise him, Frank. Well, obviously, look, Maresca's worked with him. I mean, we know he's a good player.
What does he do for Manchester City's title credentials?
Well, look, you don't spend over 100 million to try and hinder your title ambitions. Of course you don't. What he does is he gives them something different in the middle of the park. I don't really know the young Moroccan boy so much. He's only a teenager, and that's going to be a big step up. But Elliot Anderson's in there, and he's more defensive. What you have now is a player who will give them a slightly different dynamic in terms of his goals, his energy, and his runs from midfield. So it's about striking a balance. When we talk about any team, whoever it is, in the middle of the park, and one of them we've been talking about recently a lot is Real Madrid, and how Mourinho is going to have to find a balance in the middle of the park for them to allow the likes of Jude Bellingham to go and join in and create and score goals. It's kind of similar with Man City. You know, they've got the Andersons, they've got Boadi, and now they've got a guy who they're hoping is going to be more of what you would call an old-fashioned midfielder. He'll get back, he'll defend, he'll tackle, he'll wind players up, but he'll score goals as well. And that's what City are bringing in, not just to be reliant on Erling Haaland to bag 40 goals this year and hope that's going to be enough to win the title. You need goals from others around the team, particularly in the middle of the park. So he should bring that. And Maresca knows firsthand. He's worked with the player. He's trained with the player. He knows he's temperamental. I get all the things that Frank is saying. We all have our opinion about people. Some of the things he does, I'm not the greatest fan of what he does. But if we take it in a pure football parlance, then he's going to give City something a little different to what they've got in that position at the moment.
We'll actually talk about that a little bit later on, because we'll talk about Boadi, who obviously has made that move to City to join. It looks like Enzo as well. But Jules, let's focus on the other big news today. Emi Martinez making that switch from Aston Villa to Chelsea.
Yeah, that's right. It's funny how Robert Sanchez's performance on Monday night in the derby against Fulham seems to have really kind of guided this one towards Emi Martinez, because let's not forget that Chelsea for the last few years, certainly since the Americans have taken over, we're only going for young goalkeepers, from even Jorgensen, even Sanchez, to be fair, when he arrived from Brighton, to Mike Penders, to Petrovic, all those kind of guys. Whenever over 30, or even, in this case, way over 30, like Emi Martinez. But clearly, Sanchez's flaws in the game, the fact that they don't think that Mike Penders, who we saw with Frank in Strasbourg in Ligue 1 last season and did really well there, but they clearly don't think at the club that Penders is ready to take over that number one position. Then it's an obvious one. It was inevitable. Villa wanted to let Emi Martinez go. He was 1 year left. He had only 1 year left on his contract. They bought Suzuki to replace him anyway at Villa Park. Chelsea clearly needed a better goalkeeper than Sanchez, who had been a liability for them. Let's be honest, let's call it what it is, for the last couple of seasons and again on Monday night. So this one makes sense. It's a short one. I expect either Mike Penders next season to be ready, but it's a short fix, and I think that would work very well for Chelsea and very well for Martinez.
Oh no, Frank. One of your enemies leave and another one arrives.
Well, he's not my enemy. He acted stupidly when he received the best goalkeeper trophy in 2022. But I think he's been told that he was doing badly at the point, and he wasn't with his friends, with the banner with the new Falklands. So he have some excuses, let's say. But he's a great goalkeeper. He's not the best goalkeeper in the world. I think Courtois is the best goalkeeper in the world, but he's not that far. And since he left Arsenal and came to Aston Villa, the guy showed his strength and his power, and is exactly what the Chelsea defense needs. And 4 years now to have a goalkeeper with big experience, big confidence, and of course big qualities.
Wait. If he's in the conversation as one of the best goalkeepers in the world, why?
Who said that?
He just said that. Why are Aston Villa letting him go?
I think he certainly wasn't as good last year, but I think this is, when you look around at what's available, particularly at the last seconds, and this is strange that it's taken Chelsea for a horrible Monday night game for Robert Sanchez to realise. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's bad planning. Mm-hmm. You know the guy. You've watched the guy. You've seen him on TV. You've seen the issues that they've had in all the positions in the team. Why does it take? What you hoping for? Hoping for a miracle? That things are going to change? So that's, from their planning perspective, that's ridiculous. But the one thing I would say is, in bringing Martinez in, is it's costing buttons, isn't it? In this day and age, 7.5 million, short term, experienced goalkeeper, bit of a crazy, guy, but is what it is. And they need somebody to basically give the back line, back three, back four, whatever it is, a kick up the backside. Somebody that's there to push and push and push. So I agree with Gilles. I think short term, this sort of works for everybody. But Chelsea shouldn't have been, with a rebuild, shouldn't have been in this scenario where they're waiting to match day one of the season for them, where their keeper is horrendous, and then they have to go out and start looking around to see what's available. It's just crazy.
Frank, state the obvious for me here. How important is it to have someone like Emi Martinez coming in to replace Sanchez, to give that back four, which we've talked a lot about when it comes to Chelsea, a little bit more stability, a little bit more confidence?
It's crucial for a goalkeeper. He had the chance to play with the national team with Fabien Barthez behind me, and before him, Bernard Lama. They were goalkeepers that you knew that if you made a bad tackle, you had a chance to see them saving you. And that wasn't the case with Sanchez, and or sometimes, but not most of the time. That was crazy about Sanchez, because when he was at the edge, he always made a miracle the game after. It's why maybe the club took such a long time to change their mind. But when you play in your Lacroix or your Colwell, you need somebody that you know you can rely on. And I think Emiliano Martinez is that kind of guy. He's going to also give orders to the defense to get out, or call somebody if they need help. He knows the job. He has the experience for that. I didn't feel Sanchez doing that. And that's, again, crucial for centre-backs to know exactly what's going on behind them and how they have to position themselves.